Welcome to emergent-seed's premiere of our third round grant winners. My name is Adriana Smith. I'm a writer and the founder of emergent-seed, which seeks to support greater DC metro area emerging writers and musicians with grants and the opportunity to share their work with new audiences. Tonight, for the first time, we are premiering the full performances of our 10 third round grant winners, a diverse range of high-quality songs, poetry, and instrumental pieces. One thing COVID has shown us is how important our local resources are. That's why we at emergent-seed work to acknowledge and nurture our creative local resources. All of the artists you'll see here tonight live in the greater DC metro area, including the 6 surrounding counties in Maryland and Virginia. In addition to their $500 grant, each winner was paired with a highly skilled mentor and was given the opportunity to re-record their performance in a professional music studio. Here's an example of one of the winners' original video submissions, followed by his re-recorded video. Tonight's premiere shows the benefits emergent-seed offers its winners. Our mission is Creatives Helping Creatives. The money that we raise from this virtual event will help fund our future rounds of grants and upcoming performances. Furthermore, a percentage of the net proceeds raised goes back directly to the artists you see performing here tonight. Make sure to check out the donate page on our website at www.emergent-seed.org. Our goal is to support these and more artists in our local creative community. Now, let the performances begin.
Hello, my name is Callista Garcia, and the title of this piece is Tell It To Me Louder.
Callista Garcia is an award-winning singer-songwriter from Arlington, Virginia, who's performed on many local and national stages, including The Voice. She's currently a student at Berklee College of Music and is about to release a new EP.
Baby, the first time you caught my eye, I hoped I'd never blink again. If I'd known lovers before that night, suddenly I couldn't think of them. You smiled and handed me a paper rose, pretty and quick to fall apart. You told me you gotta keep the real ones close, secured the through line straight to my heart. Oh, you're just like pink and wine, bound to go to the head of any woman who tries. Way too good at easing my mind, so if I'm not seeing things right, won't you tell it to me louder? 'Cause I can't seem to hear. Did you mean to tell me that you were no good when your lips got caught on my ear? Won't you tell it to me louder? Make it crystal clear. Won't you stop talking so smooth so I can be somebody else's fool? Won't you tell it to me louder? Or I'll just keep on hanging on. Won't you tell it to me louder? Just say the word and I'll be gone. So lower your white flag and raise a red. Honey, I know you got plenty. You were the only lover in my head. I hear you're juggling 20. Hey, I don't judge, man, just give me a break. You sly devil, for heaven's sake. I marked you down as all I ever wanted. But if I made a mistake, won't you tell it to me louder? 'Cause I can't seem to hear. Did you mean to tell me that you were no good when your lips got caught on my ear? Won't you tell it to me louder? Make it crystal clear. Won't you stop talking so smooth so I can be somebody else's fool? Won't you tell it to me louder? Or I'll just keep on here's the truth. There's two sides to you. One aches for his freedom, oh, and one starves for validation. You can't stand commitment, but you don't want me to go. I keep hoping you'll grow. But if I'm wasting my patience, if I'm wasting my patience, won't you tell it to me louder? 'Cause I can't seem to hear. You got this really cruel way of making me think I got nothing to fear. So won't you tell it to me louder? If I should get out of here, then won't you stop talking so smooth so I can be somebody else's fool? Won't you tell it to me louder? Or I'll just keep on hanging on. Won't you tell it to me louder? Just say the word and I'll be gone. Oh, I'll be gone. Oh, I'll be gone, 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 gone. Oh, I'll be gone. I'll be gone.
My name is Elijah Jamal Balbed, and the title of my piece is The Corona Blues, The Shock and the Struggle.
Elijah Balbed is an accomplished saxophonist, composer, and educator from D.C. As featured in The Washington Post, you can find Elijah and his band playing jazz all over the city, on the streets, and in the area's best venues. This piece comes from his series, The Corona Blues.
Hi, my name is Alexis Renee Jefferson, and this is my poem, Take Me Gently.
Alexis Renee Jefferson is a college sophomore who has been writing since she was a child. In her poem, Take Me Gently, Alexis advocates for mental health issues, writing about the desire to be cared for in a way that heals rather than hurts.
Today I said a prayer until my cuticles were gone, and so is the hour. I've ripped my intentions down to attention, but even with the best glue, my confessions are shred with humor and blame. So I pierced my lips with a keyless lock, and it has been effective. But when even the tiniest speck of trust floats on the shackle, my tongue flops out, and I wake up at an altar. Blood-stained hands aren't an idiosyncrasy. Disinfectants can't clean seats of infertility. I don't like how my palms turn bright red under the faucet, or how the man under my bed is only there when I have the energy to make sure he's gone. I don't like how I bury my head between my right shoulder and the window when I break character in the car. But I especially don't like how you refuse to take me gently. I've had to teach myself apathy to gain some control, yet I can't seem to shrug you off. My flesh is unsewn for you. The stench of infected gore burns your nostrils, and you open a window. I've spoken of how crawling out of the abyss would be nearly impossible when the light died. Now, here I am on a ledge that I've cartwheeled on for 2 years, but lived on forever, and I've sat down and swung my legs over. I would scream, but the altitude has taken the breath from my lungs. I stroke my eyebrows and cup my cheeks when I cry. You question me with daggers, and they're stapling me to the floor of my sealed room. If I fade off in this way, my body tossed on the carpet and a box pushed against the door, you'd spend the first day of my absence coexisting with the dead silence that booms from the end of the hall. On the second day, you'd yell my name, knock on the door, and call my phone, until 2 days later when you hesitantly push the door open. Please, take me gently.
My name is Christian Perez, and the title of that piece is A Moment of Clarity.
Christian Perez is an accomplished Argentine guitarist and composer who blends genres to emphasize the universality of music. Like several of his fellow winners this round, Christian is a former Strathmore artist in residence. A Moment of Clarity is inspired by the pandemic.
I'm Sam Post, and this is the Ghostly Waltz.
Sam Post is an accomplished pianist who only started composing music when he was age 25 and has already performed at and been commissioned by nationally recognized institutions like the Kennedy Center. A DC area native as well, he's returned to his roots and is currently on the faculty of the Levin School of Music. We asked each winner to talk about what it means to them to be a practicing artist in the greater DC metro area.
I love the greater DC metro area. It's an underrated scene, I think. It's not, LA, New York, Nashville, but it's got a really, really strong community, I think, and a lot of really talented people, and some of the best venues in the country. And also, its own genre of music. It's go-go, and it's just a really supportive, great place to be. It's where I grew up, so yeah.
Well, I'm a DC native. I was born in DC and grew up in Silver Spring, Maryland. So I grew up around the music scene around here and have witnessed it go through a lot of changes. But one thing that hasn't changed is the strength of the community, the musicians always finding places to play and supporting each other, supporting newer musicians who move to the area. So that's one thing that comes to mind when I think about the DC music scene, is the support and the community of it.
I think it's honestly a very inspiring experience. I'm surrounded by so many various people in different sectors of art, and I'm influenced and inspired by all that they do. It's very community-based, so I get to learn from them as I watch them.
Well, in my experience, it's been great. But since I moved here when I was 16, and I haven't lived in any other places besides Washington D.C. and Buenos Aires, Argentina, which is where I'm from. I don't have many things to compare it to. But based on what some people have told me and places that I visited, I feel grateful to be in an area as diverse as this.
So I think, like being an artist anywhere, there are obvious challenges, but also, great rewards. And, being in the DC area, there's just a great arts community of listeners, of mentors for me and teachers, and I have great students as well who I love, and I've met some really great people to play with too. So yeah, it's a great place, I think, to be an artist for sure.
My name is William Porter, and the title of this song is Always.
William Porter is a saxophonist and a rising junior at Towson University. He is at work on releasing his first album.
My name is Justin Treywick. My band is Justin Treywick and the Common Good, and this song is This Town.
Justin Treywick is another homegrown singer-songwriter who, at the beginning of the pandemic, was featured on CNN for his live streams. Now you can also catch him at one of his secret backyard shows. Justin is extremely involved in the local music community and founded the nationally touring show, the 9 Songwriter Series.
Barbie was a beauty school dropout, never had a real career. She was a tightrope walker for a cool hot minute, then a small gas station cashier. She was alone, she was alone, she was alone, but I never really got her down. She spent her days daydreaming about the things she would do when she finally made it out of this town. Hey. Jerry moved home to a house he hadn't been in over 15 years. He moved out at 18 to see what he'd see, take the world on without any fear. See, when he moved home, because it didn't really go as he planned, he turned into a shut-in and never amounted to nothing in this town, tried to begin. All these days and all these nights shape my soul and shape my life. I feel things and I hear sounds. This town knows all. This town. I pull my strings from way up high. Marionettes all in the sky. Trip me up and tie me down. This town. We all fall down. Yeah. The sun is setting on the simple things they told you. This town is fleeting and it's dissolving all around you. You want to believe that you're the captain of your own mind, but you live on a pirate ship and it's being taken over all the time. The sun is setting on the simple things they told you. Your time is fleeting and it's dissolving all around you. You want to believe that you're the captain of your own mind, but you live on a pirate ship and it's being taken over all the time. 1, 2, 3, woo! Hey! Yeah. Woo! Come on! Yeah. And we're halfway there. Make it count. Come on. Woo! Hey! Woo! One more time. Come on, let me hear it. All right. Bethany was looking for a sign. She was living on a prayer. She had hopes and high hopes and notes upon notes of plans all up in the air. But when she figured it out, she was done being left behind. She told her family, this chapter is done. Now I'm going, I'm no longer waiting in line. All these days and all these nights shape my soul and shape my life. I feel things and I hear sounds. This town knows all. This town. I pull my strings from way up high. Marionettes all in the sky. Trip me up and tied me down. This town. We all fall down. All these days and all these nights shape my soul and shape my life. I feel things and I hear sounds. This town knows all. This town. I pull my strings from way up high. Marionettes all in the sky. Trip me up and tie me down. This town. We all fall down.
Okay. My name is Indran Amitanagam. My poem is called Florence.
Indran Amitanagam is a poet and U.S. diplomat who has lived in many countries. He writes, translates, and publishes poetry and essays in English, French, Spanish, Portuguese, and Haitian Creole. This poem, Florence, is in memoriam of his godmother.
Florence. I remember banana leaves, trees full of them, in a back garden in Negambo. I remember shuttlecocks and badminton. Aruna and I would play with Shemi and Nimi. I remember Joe Mama, my gentle godfather, who by divine luck in hand married my most gentle godmother, who has left us today, bereft, sad to the root of the soul, but unbowed, knowing that Soundri Mami has joined her husband again beyond the pearls, gates, and politics of this brief space. It's poetry as well, which she composed with an ear for meter and rhyme, about grandchildren, the gardens she grew, a fine mind, able, limber, until the last moment, my regret interrupting her sleep in our particular final exchange. A few words, rest well, good night. How to say good night. I remember banana leaves wrapping samba rice, brinjals, Paul Sambol, Coriopolis, Pittsburgh, 1979, my second Christmas away from home in Hawaii. Too far to return there from college, so I took the bus instead to feast on lampreys my godmother made, far from Ceylon, but with the taste right, and to learn in passing about such American matters as stealers and children of coal mines. Although not far away stood the nuclear plant that melted that year, causing planetary fear of extinction. But we survived, and we will survive this ending, which Soundri would not want us to feel, hoping instead for the good Lord's return. America today turning the corner, stepping ahead, and you leaving us after giving one more vote for the generous and kind, for caregivers of children and the neighborhood's children, for careful plucking of dead leaves so the flower will bloom. It blooms in my heart in these words, so aptly named you were at birth, your first, Florence, for blossom, flower, flourish. You are in my blood, always have been. In these words, in hearts and minds and memories of these who knew you and those who will now know that on earth walked a good woman, a gardener, and she tended her plants with much love, and the plants loved her back and are blooming now everywhere.
I'm Stefan Aggregato.
My name is Diana Liu.
We are On and On, the band. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, this song is called Spirit of Justice Park.
This singer-songwriter couple, Stefan Aggregato and Diana Liu, are originally from LA and now excited to explore their new local community, as expressed in this DC-inspired song, Spirit of Justice Park. They are at work on their first EP.
Lately, the wind
My name is Asha Dias, and the title of this piece is Ianti.
Asha Dias is a multidisciplinary artist whose music, visual art, and fashion have taken her all over the world. Now exploring creating with synthesizers, Asha created this improvised piece, Ianti, as a sound exploration and meditation.
I love being a musician and working in DC. Like most of my inspirations are actually from DC. I was taught by Elijah Balbit. He was my high school teacher. And in college, I was taught by Braxton Cook. He was born in Silver Spring. So yeah, a lot of my inspirations are from here and still play here.
I think it's great being a singer-songwriter in the Washington, D.C. area. I'm actually from here. This whole area is my home. I grew up traveling around Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia. My mother's from Maryland. My father's from Virginia. So I have an equal footing in the entire region. There's so many music venues, so many music listeners. There's such a thriving local scene here, and then there's opportunities to open for national acts as they come through. 930 Club, Kennedy Center, IOTA, who's closed a couple of years ago, but it was where we got started. I love being here. I travel. I go to New York and to Philly and across the country to California and play in LA all the time, but I always love coming back to DC because these are my roots and there's such an amazing community here.
Well, I'm in a center of power, right? But the center did not hold. I'm in a city becoming greener, more artistic. It seems more galleries, more reading series, more theater. At least that's how it's seen before the pandemic. But then the pandemic hit, and I'm not sure yet what has survived, what will come back, but I'm hopeful. You know, there are creative spirits working throughout the city and in the region, and we will find our places to express ourselves. And when I say the center cannot hold or did not hold, I mean there are many centers, you know, of arts in the world, and this is one of them.
Well, we are very inspired by the music scene here in DC. Even during the pandemic, we see people perform all the time in the streets. The place is just bursting with energy, and we're really happy to be a part of that. Now that music venues are starting to open up as well. Definitely a big reputation coming into DC. We're both from LA, but we were just happy that it lived up to the hype, and it's been super inspiring.
For me, it's pretty amazing. I have been able to cross paths with so many incredible artists across all different genres, and I find that if you know where the music is and the different types of music that are actually in DC, you can find yourself in a very beautiful melting pot of awesomeness. Thank you to Emergent-seed.
Thank you all, Emergent-seed and Blue House, for making this possible.
Thank you for listening. We're looking forward to seeing you out in the scene.
Super grateful to, Emergent-seed for having this opportunity.
I'm grateful to Emergent-seed for this opportunity, so thanks for having us.
Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us in celebrating our third round winners in this premiere of their full performances, and for supporting our mission to help emerging artists in our local creative community. And thank you to those who made this third virtual event possible. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on social media, and sign up for our email list to find out about how to support our work and our upcoming events. Thank you.
Thank you.